protect hip hop culture with that statement. I don't know the girl, don't know who she is, never heard of her. I think on her part, she could have said, hey, you know what, this is out of my league, I shouldn't be on this platform. Or maybe Australia as a country should have said, hey, you know, girl, fall back on this one because you're not ready yet.
If you haven't already figured it out, this is about the young lady, or lady, she's not young, goes by the name of Raygun. It's a lot to unpack here. We're going to get into it. Stay tuned.
Ooh, you are listening to the Billy Flint Experience.
Thank you so much for joining me here today to the Billy Flint Experience. Of course, I am your host, Billy Flint. We're going to get into today's topic which is trending all over the social media. Of course, if you haven't figured it out or heard about it, this is about the lady goes by the name of Raygun, Rachael Gunn, which is the breakdancer that embarrassed herself worldly at the Olympics during the the break dancing competition that took place last week. And we're gonna take this slow. We're gonna break it down, so to speak. The title, of course, is Raygun, More Than Just a Breakdance. And I have to ask, was it a part of a social experiment? Her social experiment. But again, we're going to break this down, but we're going to continue to listen to what Crazy Legs, that was a gentleman at the top of the podcast, Crazy Legs, of course, goes by the name of Richard Collion. And he's one of the influential breakdancers from the 1980s breakdancing scene. And of course, he was a part of the Rocksteady crew from the Bronx, New York. So he knows exactly what what it is to be a breakdancer, and the styles and the techniques, and how much it is for one to put into this type of dancing technique, which is a part of the hip hop culture. Of course, I remember during the 80s, of course, I'm a child of the 80s and I'm aging myself, but interestingly enough, his birthday is January 1st. That is my birthday, January 1st. So shout out to Crazy Legs. Capricorns in the house, definitely. But we're going to break it down. We're going to let him finish what he was saying, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to peel back on what my theory is on why this was Rachael Gunn's social experiment. And she used the Olympics as a platform. But we're going to let Crazy Legs finish here.
All right, everybody. I thought I was going to keep this subject out of my mouth, but I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up about the girl Raygun from Australia. First, let me say, anyone on that stage is the decision and responsibility of the governing body or committee from each country. And then there's the idea that when judges should stand up and say, hey, like, this girl doesn't reach the qualifications of someone who should be performing on that level, and protect hip hop culture with that statement. I don't know the girl, don't know who she is, never heard of her. I think on her part, she could have said, hey, you know what, this is out of my league, I shouldn't be on this platform. Or maybe Australia as a country should have said, hey, you know, girl, fall back on this one because you're not ready yet. And that's legit, and that's okay. Maybe in her mind, she's better than what she thinks, and that's something for her to work out on her own. Do I think she deserves the amount of criticism that she's getting? Nah. I don't agree with anyone dragging her. I get the funny part, you know, in the United States, we are the Uber version of Live at the Apollo. We see you doing something sideways, the jokes are coming fast and hard, and they're gonna sustain for a while if they're good. But then it gets to a point of like, yo, what are we really doing to homegirl on a level of like really messing with her mental health, and how we act can actually damage the girl and maybe even cause her to do damage to herself. I'm not with that. I'm not even here to advocate for or against her. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it is whoever's in charge that allowed her to be on that stage. My personal opinion is that she never should have been on that stage. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not, you know, homegirl's been dragged globally, dragged hardcore. Like, I mean, you know, people should ease up, because the focus at this point should be all the good that came out of it. Now, is there some suspect judging? Should the judging be, is the judging in need of serious help in terms of how they select the judges? Yeah, absolutely, because the judging, there were so many things that I disagreed with, and I'm telling you right now, my credibility as a judge is dope. Now, I wasn't approached to be a judge, but if I were approached to be a judge, I probably would have said no anyway, because that was not the lane I would have wanted to have been in anyway. So I'm not trying to, you know, anyway, look, bottom line is, the real deal is judging needs to be worked on, and however people are enabling dancers to reach these platforms when they are nowhere near ready has to be fixed. Bow out next time. You know, allow your friends, Raygun, allow your friends, if they, and I don't know if they're keeping it 100 with you, but if they are telling you that, hey, you're not as good as you think you are, take heed, because it leads to situations like this. And I personally don't want to see you dragged. You don't deserve that. I don't think you deserve it. So I think the bigger focus is, you know, celebrate who won. Also, give a pat on the back to those people that you feel should have won, because I don't think they should ever question themselves. Some of the talent up there was amazing, and certain people should have been in the finals. That's it.
Okay, that was an opinion posted on TikTok from, again, that's Crazy Legs. Goes by his government name, Richard Collion. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, his last name, but forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, but it's Richard Collion. Okay, once again, he is a breakdancer from the 1980s, which was integral part of the hip-hop culture during that period, and he was a part of the Rock Steady crew. Very influential dancer. He knows his craft. He's very talented, I must say. And I can't say that enough. He's very talented in what he does. He's now an instructor and cultural community leader. So all respects to what he had to say about this, but I have to disagree with him. No, I think Rachael Gunn needs to be dragged. I think she needs to be, all the jokes need to fly her way because, again, this was a social experiment. It was her social experiment, and she used the Olympics as a platform based on her education. And I'm going to break this down. So we're going to take it slow. I'm going to break it down because I did some digging. I did some research because I was interested in how all this unfolded. I watched the Olympics breakdancing competition. And of course, all the participants that was during this event of the Olympics, they were exceptionally good. Both men and women from different countries. Of course, the gentleman, I don't have his name at the top of my head, but the gentleman from Vancouver who took the gold, exceptional. I can't say that enough. And I'm sure everyone that watched this event was in awe at the techniques, the dancing, their style, individual styles, and just the sheer dedication to this dance or to this genre of dance representing the hip hop culture. Okay, and it's great that it started in the early 1980s, I would say, and now we have it a part of a worldwide event. And I have to say that is all because of what started in the Bronx, in New York. Of course, then people never took it serious, or the mainstream did not take the whole aspect of hip-hop culture serious. They thought it was a fad. They thought it was, jungle, backwards culture. All the names was flying during that time when the onset of hip-hop started. No one took it serious, or the mainstream didn't take it serious, but the black culture, we took it serious. It was ours. We started this, and it was ours. Only for other cultures to take part, and we blessed the world with it. And it's great that it went all over the world, from Canada to the UK, which I'm gonna do a podcast about that, and this is gonna be interesting when I do that podcast. But it went to the UK, Germany, the Far East, to Japan, China. It has become a world. Africa has become a worldwide phenomenon. And I have to applaud the fact that, again, it started in the United States, and we bless the black culture, bless the world with this aspect of our creativity. And I think it needs to be respected on all levels. And for her, this Raygun, or whatever she goes by, would use this as a social experiment based on, again, her higher learning, her scholastic studies. And again, once again, I took this and I said to myself, first, who or what organization or the people who was responsible for sending their athletes or participants to the Olympics, who were these people? Of course, it comes out of Australia, so that says it all. That says it all. Australia. And I'm sorry, Australia, you gotta take a L for this. And of course, she goes back to her country and everybody's applauding her. She's riding on the shoulders of people and everybody thinks she did a great job. That's bullshit. She made a fool of herself. She made a fool of that country. And basically it speaks of the disrespect that those people have for other cultures. And I mean that 100%. So we're going to break this down. Again, I was sitting there watching this and I'm thinking to myself, did she not sit there? And I'm sure she's seen other people go before her. Or I don't know, maybe the lady, the B girls, maybe they were the first to perform, but whatever. The point is that I'm sure that she watched other performers in this event doing their breakdancing routine. And I know she had to sit there and think like, okay, this is good. This is really good. How could she not say that? And of course, people are saying that, again, like Crazy Legs, that people should stop dragging her, should stop bullying her because of her mental health. Because of her mental... What is this doing to her mental health? Fuck that. No one cares about that because she didn't care. She did this purposely, again, as a social experiment, to prove her point based on her own analysis on culture, in which she studied and got the degrees from a collegiate level on these subjects. Okay, so we're gonna take it to the beginning. We're gonna go right to the beginning. Okay, her name is Rachael Gunn. She goes by the name of Raygun. Play on words. Okay, so she's a competitive, known in Australia, she's known as a competitive breakdancer. She also does lectures at the Macquarie's University Department of Media, Communications, Creative Arts, Language, and Literature. Okay. As I gotten deeper into it, I was like, okay, so what did she study? And it says her education is contemporary music. She got a BA in contemporary music back in 2009. And she got a PhD. You know what PhD means. That's Powered, High, and Deep. It's a bullshit degree. I'm not saying this, but most philosophers and other people that actually got this degree actually says that. They make a joke about it and they say, okay, PhD stands for Powered, High, and Deep, basically taking themselves way too serious in their chosen profession. It's not my words. But anyways, 2017, she gets this PhD in cultural studies. So again, I started probing deeper. Okay, so I can see where, she finds the need to want to be a part of a culture or part of the culture, in that she wants to dissect, or she wants to take apart, interestingly enough, what a lot of white people seem to do when it comes to other cultures, is that they want to know every aspect of that culture, and they want to dissect it and want to know what it is that makes them tick, what makes them good at what they do. And that goes from sports to music to dance. They've done, the white populace has done that with jazz music. They've done that with rock and roll. They've done that with country music. They've done it with R&B. They've done it with soul, funk, house music, techno. All of the genres of entertainment, even sports. They've done that with all of the entertainment aspects of what it is about the black culture that makes us so creative and so well versed in many talents. So a lot of this is actually on a higher learning collegiate level of studies. Okay, so we're going to go down and look at her thesis. And this is where I was saying that this was basically a social experiment. She's a feminist, okay? That's basically what it is. She's a feminist, and she wanted to use this platform to prove her thesis, in which she studied in college. Okay, so her thesis. Okay, and I'm gonna try to go slow with this. Okay, her thesis is the dictatorializing gender in Sydney's breakdancing scene, a B-girl's experience of b-boying. Okay, this is a paper that she wrote. Okay. And it goes deep. Okay, this thesis was posted in 2022. Okay, so she was already on this whole this whole thing about wanting to prove her theory. Okay, now it says this thesis critically interrogates how masculinist practices of breakdancing offer a site for the transgression of gender norms. Drawing on my experience as a female within the male-dominated breakdancing scene in Sydney. First, as a spectator, then as an active crew member. This thesis questions why so few female participants engage in this creative space, and how breakdancing might be the space to displace again, and how breakdancing might be the space to displace gender. I use analytical audio ethnologic these words. I've never even heard these words before. Okay. Auto ethnography, audio ethnography, in interviews with scene members and collaborating with theoretical frameworks offered by, and then she gives these names, Deleuze and Guterra, Butler, blah, 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 other feminists and post-structuralist philosophers to critically examine how the capacities of bodies are constitute and shaped in Sydney's breakdancing scene, and to also locate the potentiality from moments of transgression. In other words, I conceptualize the breaking body as not a body constitute through regulations and assumptions, but as an assemblage open to new connections. Breaking is a space that embraces differences, whereby the rituals of the dance not only augments its capacity to the body, but also facilitate possibilities for performatives beyond and confines of dominant modes of thought and narrative gender constructions. Consequently, this thesis attempts to contribute to what I perceive as a significant gap in scholarship on hip-hop. Again, consequently, this thesis attempts to contribute to what I perceive as a significant gap in scholarship on hip-hop. Breakdancing, and again, this word, ethnograph. This is really, really crazy. Ethnographic. I forget it. I'm not gonna. You can look this up online. Okay, this word is ridiculous. I've never even heard this word, and it's definitely a tongue twister. Okay, exploration of Deleuze and Guattari's theory. Okay, this is her thesis, and it goes deeper. So basically, you can look this. Actually, you can look this up. You can research this online. It's online. It's in her bio of her studies. And again, I say she used this Olympic major platform to prove her thesis. That's why she went out there and she danced the way she danced. There was no, it had nothing to do with breakdance. It had nothing to do with a creative, or maybe it was her creative outlet, again, to prove her thesis as this cultural uniqueness of breakdancing and how it splits up the gender. Being it that it started as a male-dominant genre, which most things does. Men create a creative outlet, and of course women want to join in, and it's open to whomever wants to be a part of it. You can be a part of it. It has nothing to do with it being dominant or only for men, but from her eyes, from her standpoint, she seems that it does. That's why she went out there and made a fool of herself in front of the world, and now she wants sympathy. Now the people from Australia is saying, okay, well, her mental health, and that she shouldn't be bullied. No, she should be bullied because she made a fool of herself, and she disrespect something that is a part of another culture. And that would be, and I'll have to say this respectfully, that would be the same thing as if I went to an Asian country. I went to Japan, or I went to China, and I want to be a part of their discipline of martial arts. Say it's China. I go to China, and I want to be a part of their discipline in martial arts, and I wanted to compete in an event. And I go there, and I go into the ring, and I can completely obliterate and disrespect their culture and start doing some crazy moves and start screaming like Bruce Lee. As a matter of fact, I would act like Bruce Lee. That will be a total disrespect to their culture, a complete disrespect to the Chinese culture, something that was a part of their culture for thousands of years. And then I turn around and get upset because everyone is dragging me through the mud. Oh, well, you shouldn't drag me because this is something that I think should be seen based on whatever crazy degree I got in a higher learning. But I wanted to show the differences based on my own philosophy. So again, this was something that she was planning for quite some time. And I'm pretty much sure she's going to go back to Australia. She's going to get book deals, I don't know, maybe movie script, television appearances, talk show, the lecture circuit, the whole 9 yards. She's going to use this as a viral moment. And she's going to use this whole thing about her mental health and how, she struggled with this, and she doesn't want to be seen in public, and whatever. Rachael Gunn embarrassed herself, and she embarrassed her country on a world platform. And now they're going to want people to stop and want to sympathize. Let me slow down. They're going to want people to sympathize on the fact that she is struggling from her own embarrassing antics at the Olympic Games. Again, this is just my own personal theory. This is my own personal feelings behind this. But again, once I start digging, because again, when I was watching the games, I was sitting there and I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And I automatically knew that this was a joke. She's mocking a culture. She's mocking this discipline of dance. And she's doing this because she wants a viral moment. And she's using the Olympics because she knows that the world, this is not only just the internet, this is not only, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or whatever. This is a world platform that billions of people will be watching. And she just basically made a fool of not of herself, but to everybody else who watched. To the point it was like, ooh, watch me, look at me. This is my moment. And now, again, her people in Australia want to give her a gold star on her forehead as an award for trying. Of course, she didn't get any points. Not 1 point. 0. Because the Olympic judges, even though there were no people on that, the judging crew, the people that were there judging this event, none of the people that was there had anything to do with breakdancing. Because I'm pretty much sure if they've even gotten Crazy Legs, which he said he didn't want to be a part of, but even if they would have gotten someone from that era to be a part of the judges, they wouldn't have even let her perform, because there's different levels that you have to go to. There, different levels that you to qualify to even be seen at that level. So my question is, how does she miss that? What was the misstep? How does she even get to that level? Well, again, because there were no people there that was a part of the culture to know what it is to take to be a great dancer. And again, those of us that watch the Olympics, we've seen the dancers, we've seen the performances. And those performances, I have to say again, was outstanding. Even for the ones who didn't get a medal. Both men and women from different countries. Outstanding. And then she comes along with her antics, and she basically said, fuck everything, fuck everybody, I'm going to do what I want to do. So again, Crazy Legs, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you on that aspect of people should stop dragging her. No, she needs to be dragged. This needs to be talked about. And it needs to be pointed out that she made a fool of herself and that she should not play with other cultures. So she definitely learned her lesson on this. So say what you will about her this could affect her mental health. No, she brought this on to herself. She brought it on to herself. She knew from the start that I'm not qualified for this, but I'm going to do it anyways because I have something to prove. Well, you proved it, and this is the outcome of what you proved. So that's my say on it. Again, this was a lot to unpack, but all of this information is online. All you have to do is look up this particular woman. Her government name is Rachael Gunn, goes by the pseudonym Raygun. But everything is online. You can look this up and you can research this stuff yourself. But this is what I've come to understand about her antics and what she pulled at the Olympics of 2024. Again, thank you so much for listening to the Billy Flint podcast. I am your host, Billy Flint. You're coming here live from Germany. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. And we'll be back with you again soon. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Go on, you've got another 5 seconds. Say something outrageous.
You dirty bastard.
Go on, again.
You dirty fucker.
What a clever boy.
What a fucking rotter.
Well, that's it for tonight.